15 by the federal government that was constitutive of the PDP since 1999, to 2015 at 67 billion naira. That's a legacy debt inherited by this government.
It's important that we fact check here because the actual figure is not 67 billion, but in 2015 it was 63 billion.
63 billion, sorry. It was 67 billion in 2014. It was paid down, and by 2015 it went to it was 63 billion. Now, between 2015 and 2018, we have 73 billion. So just add 10 billion to that. And the critical thing is that by 2005, the Nigerian foreign debt had been paid down. So it started at a zero level. So which means we acquired a fresh 67 billion paid down to 63 billion between 2005 and 2015. A most grievous one is that between 2011 and 2015, we acquired an extra $28 billion debt, especially when we're making so much money from our crude oil. It is said, and it is confirmed, that up to $381 billion were generated within those 4 years, between 2011 and 2015. Now, the most horrible, awful, annoying aspect of that is that despite this revenue generated, despite this loan secured, the government, that particular government, still left a legacy debt of more than 2 trillion naira for contractors. Contractors not paid. So much that contractors moved out of sight. Much worse than that was that the World Bank, in its household survey, had actually established that 86 million Nigerians were living under the poverty line by 2013. Yet, we made so much money.
Mr. Tanko, I know you want to respond. Yeah. How do you take the assessment of whether or not the APC-led federal government has led Nigeria to the brink of economic collapse with debt?
It's quite annoying when you hear a progressive government accusing its own predecessors of one thing or that, especially when you know that those particular people who belong to the same PDP were the one that helped you in getting into power. Is there any particular justification when we know only time they were helping, the PDP member were helping the APC to come into power? Who was making all of these particular allegations? Everybody kept quiet. Nobody was saying anything. So you are benefiting, the present government was benefiting for the benevolence of the members of the PDP to get into a power. Now we have taken this country into a where Nigerians now are the #1 poorest nation in the world.
Mr. Tanko, I want to be very clear. I want to be clear in what I want to ask you here, because if I'm hearing you correctly, are you saying that out of $73 billion of debt from essentially when the debt was cleared in 2005, that it does not matter that $63 billion was accrued
What I'm saying is that this is electioneering period. And that is when these figures are coming out. When they were helping themselves to come into power, nobody knew about what was going on. You know, what these things that they are pushing all of these things into the Nigerian people, trying to get a lot of confusion into their minds and saying that I am justifiable for what action I have taken as regard to one person or the other. None of them were making this particular position known to Nigerian people ab initio. You understand my point?
I understand your point. Mr. Tanko, we're going to just throw it over to Lagos, where my colleague is standing by. Nyota?
Thank you, Ajiri. We're still here with Onoja. Okay, Lemona, tell us, what's your response to this matter of the death thing?
First and foremost, I mean, and I say this with due respect, the foundations for everything that the APC representative just said, the man from BMO, is faulty. And in law, we say when you cannot build something on nothing, it doesn't stand. When they come into the public space and they make salacious call figures like that, just, I mean, out of the blues, it shows let me get straight to it. Nigeria did not have a zero level of debt in 2005. We didn't receive a blanket debt forgiveness from every organization that we owed money to in the world. we received debt forgiveness from the Paris Club. Apart from that, Nigeria still owed money. It's very simple. When somebody comes and says Nigeria had zero debt in 2005, the person displays, and I say this respectfully, an overwhelming sense of a lack of knowledge of what the financial status of the country was at the time. One. Two, okay, so in that statement, commend the PDP. The debt forgiveness didn't fall out of the sky. It was orchestrated and achieved by a political party. Commend the PDP. Three, if we're talking about Nigeria's past, we must talk about Nigeria's past.
Okay.
In 1999, when PDP came into office on the back of crippling debt, and it went to, 99 to 2005, it went through a process of quickly trying to solve our economic issues. We inherited from General Absalami Abubakar a government that he had just received from General Sani Abacha, a government where President Muhammadu Buhari, as the head of PTF, was a major figure. We can't talk about our past without mentioning President Muhammadu